Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Turf Club for the Calcutta Races Autumn Meeting 6-day, Sunday, 23rd November 2025 race preview. The first race of the day is the Bergamo Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. First up, we're looking at Schwarzenegger. We got Maiden Heaven, Lineup and Collect. They raced against each other in race number 21. Maiden Heaven, who was racing in third spot, made some late gains and eventually got into second spot. Schwarzenegger, who's already had 3 starts in the season, a 4th place effort in an earlier start. Over here, Schwarzenegger, after being in a forward position, ran out of gas and eventually finished on 6th. And number 6, Lineup and Collect, who has been unlucky a little bit, 3rd in both the starts so far for Lineup and Collect. 4 is MSG Fantasy, who's had a start during the monsoon season and a decent season last time out on the winter track, a win and a few placed effort. And during the monsoon run in race number 1, MSG Fantasy, after finishing on 6th, it was observed that MSG Fantasy was trotting lame. 5 Lahina, 7 Diamond Gold, both have had 3 starts each. Lahina finished on 7th in race number 2, then mid-pack in the next start in race number 7. Over here, Lahina raced in 9th spot for most while and finished on 9th. Diamond Gold has had a second placed effort in the penultimate start that Diamond Gold had behind Princess Peach. Over here, Diamond Gold, after taking an even jump, finished on 7th. Second race of the day is the Vibrant Handicap Division 1 for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26 eligible, to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality to be run over a distance of about 1200 meters. One is Oishika, who's Dali out of Lucy in the Sky, has been knocking on the doors. Oishika has had a few second and third place effort during the monsoon season and the first start that Oishika had during the monsoon season was slow out of the gates, took the turn in 7th spot, then came out and finished up a very close 3rd, the mount of R.S. Bhatti. We're looking at 3 runners. That's Marcolini, Star Pride, Swift Lady from race number 15, where Marcolini was racing in 4th spot, got up to finish on 3rd. Number 9, Star Pride, who was racing in 2nd spot under the last 250 meters, where started to gradually drop back and eventually finished on 8th. And 13, which is Swift Lady, couple of stars in this season and not been up to her standards. The 4th placed effort in race number 6, and over here Swift Lady finished on 9th of 14 runners. 3 is Chilli Lady, 3 starts during the monsoon season. First Chilli Lady, after being an unplaced in the first start, next to start finished on 3rd. After being slow out of the gates in race number 25, finished on 3rd, and last start in race number 49 went over 1100 meters, took the turn in 2nd spot and fought on for 3rd spot. 4 is Cascades, Quasar out of Penny Lane, coming down from Western India after a win under its bag in race number 41, then had a 5th place effort in race number 120, the one we are looking at, that was over 12 furlongs, and after being in 5th spot at the bend, did not really improve any further, finished on 5th of 8 runners. The winner here was Endurance. Cascades, the mount of Chetan Gowda. 5 is Black Diamond. Black Diamond has mostly raced in southern India. The start we are looking at is from the Madras season in race number 26. This was the 2nd start that Black Diamond had. An earlier start, finished on 2nd to Sibra. Over here, Black Diamond was in 4th spot, then asked to go, absolutely accelerated away from the field and eventually won the race by 2.5 lengths. We got Jolafet and Infinia. Jolafet, who has had a couple of starts in the season, a 3rd placed ever in race number 3, and then last start Jolafet was in 2nd spot, kept on finding something and eventually finished on 2nd. Infinia, who came down from Hyderabad, perhaps needed the start, was in 6th spot at the bend and then gradually improved places, but could only finish on 4th, just missed out the place money behind Cash Your Luck. 7 Sea of Charm, 12 Oremello. Sea of Charm unplaced in 2 starts. Earlier start was in race number 15 over here. Sea of Charm was in 6th spot, then dropped back to 9th out of 13. And 12 Oremello, who has had a solitary start in this season, that was in this race, where Oremello, after being in 11th spot when asked for an effort, did not really improve any further, finished on 11th of 13 runners. The winner here was Clever Hans. 8 is Princess Peach, Arazan out of Festival Night. Start in the season, and what a start this was. Went on a start to finish mission, was given a breather at about the 800 meters, then kicked away from the field, and eventually had 5 lengths to spare over Diamond Gold. Princess Peach again, the mount of Mukesh Kumar. 10 is Resplendence, coming down from Bangalore. This liter more out of Missing You. Gelding has had 5 stars during the Bangalore summer meeting, and the start we are looking at is from race number 158, where Resplendence was leading the pack until the last 250 meters, where it started to gradually drop back. Eventually finished on 7th of 9 runners. Today the mount of Vishal and Bunde. 14 is Simran's Attitude. Simran's Attitude was earlier known as Blue Nile. Raced mostly in Hyderabad. 3 starts there during the monsoon season. Unplaced in all 3 starts. Simran's Attitude, and the start we're looking at is from race number 66, where Simran's Attitude raced in 6th spot for most while after being slowly out of the gates, and eventually finished on 6th. 'Moving on to the third race of the day, the Vibrant Handicap Division 2 for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1200 meters. First up, we got Impressive Annie and Happy Morning. Impressive Annie, who had 3 stars during the monsoon season, a second place ever in the penultimate start for an Impressive Annie. He started this winter season with a 5th place effort in race number 11, that was over 1200 meters. And 13, Happy Morning, who was a winner of the last start that she had during the monsoon season. In this season, in race number 11, was racing in 9th spot, dropped back when asked for an effort, eventually finished on 11th of 14 runners. Zambezi, Queen of Mafia, 2 runners we're looking at. Zambezi, who raced in 11th spot for most while. This was in race number 26 over 1400 meters, and then made up a couple of placings and eventually finished on 9th of 12 runners. 8, Queen of Mafia. Queen of Mafia was racing in 5th spot when asked for an effort, started to accelerate and eventually finished on 4th. Just missed out the place money, finished on 4th of 12 runners. The winner here was Hermod. 3, Trebia. 9, Jet. Trebia, who's had a couple of stars during the monsoon season, a 3rd placed effort in the second start that Trebia had during the monsoon. In this season already has had couple of starts that were over 1100 meters. Earlier start after being in 8th spot, finished on 5th. Last start was in 6th spot, then weakened a place and finished on 6th. And the other runner we got is number 9, Jet, who was racing in mid-pack for most while, finished in a clustered finish, eventually finished on 14th of 14. 4, Most and More, coming down from Bangalore with a win under its back, is Most and More. He is by air support out of Ceres Noir. After a couple of unplaced effort in race number 38, was in 2nd spot, then came up with a run on the outside of the track and took charge. Eventually had 3 lengths to spare over Mera. Most and More, the mount of Suraj Naredu. 7 is Sporting Trainer. Sporting Trainer was withdrawn in the last scheduled start. The run we're looking at is from race number 10, where Sporting Trainer went over a mile, was in 6th spot, eventually finished on 5th to Togo. Sporting Trainer is the mount of Varun and is drawn 2. Moving on to number 10, Kindred Spirit. Kindred Spirit has had a couple of starts in the season after being very consistent in the 3 start that he had during the monsoon, a win and a couple of place effort. In this season has really lost shine, has finished on 8th in an earlier start, that was in race number 6, and last start, race number 25 over 1400 meters. After being in second spot, dropped back rapidly, eventually finished on second last of 13 runners. 11 is Zalia. Well done out of Anahi. Couple of starts for Zalia so far in her career. Earlier start was in last winter, finished on 3rd to Abhikandra. Last start, Zalia was in 3rd spot, then really started to move up with the raking stride. Eventually staved off the late challenge of Rosalia and Zalia, the Mount of Arb, however, was drawn 13. 12 is NRI Fantasy. NRI Fantasy, after having a decent monsoon season, this season in race number 20 was in 3rd spot, then took charge and was looking good for a few strides, but there was a late run by Amalfi Tana, and NRI Fantasy did the next best thing, finished on 2nd. The Mount of Imran Chisti is NRI Fantasy. 'We move on to the 4th race of the day, the Dancing Colors Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of about 2000 meters. First up, we are looking at horse number 1, Northbound, who's by Quasar out of Pristina, and coming down here from Western India after a win under his bag. That was in race number 89, where Northbound, after being in 4th spot at the bend, started to gradually move places, then got into a ding-dong battle with Yuletide and eventually came out better by a length. Northbound, Mount of Varun today. 2 is Multi Success, who's done most of her racing in southern India, but has experience on the Calcutta winter track with a win in race number 144 during the last season. The start we are looking at from the Bangalore summer season, where in race number 118, Multi Success was in 10th spot when asked for an effort, started to gradually improve, but eventually could finish on 8th of 11 runners. The winner was NRI Victory. 3 is Cool Daddy. Couple of starts in this season for Cool Daddy. A 6th place effort in race number 10. Last start was in race number 25, where Cool Daddy went to 1400 meters, was in 9th spot. Started to make some late gains, as you can see on the right of your screen, and eventually got into 4th spot. And the winner here was Clever Run Cool Daddy, the Mount of Gaurav Singh, drawn 1. 4 is Power Racer. Power Racer, a couple of starts in this season for Power Racer. A 12th place effort in race number 15 was the first start and last start. Power Racer, after being in a forward position in the home straight, dropped back very rapidly, eventually finished on 10th of 12 runners. The winner here was Hermod. 5 is Sanaya. Dovel by Sana is Sanaya. Has had starts in Bangalore and a 2nd placed effort in Hyderabad. And the run we are looking at is from the Calcutta Monsoon Derby, where Sanaya was a little slowly out of the gates. There's in 11th spot at the turn, and then made up a placing and eventually finished on 10th. 6 is Global Fashion. Global Fashion had a decent monsoon season, a 3rd placed effort in first start in race number 16, then 2nd in race number 32 to Cool Daddy, and finally in race number 46, Global Fashion got into a ding-dong battle with Aretha for almost 50 meters and then started to assert and eventually won by a couple of lengths. Global Fashion, the Mount of visiting jockey A. Prakash, drawn 4. 7 is Fortune Warrior. Fortune Warrior was 11th in the first start in race number 6, then in 4th in race number 7. Last start, Fortune Warrior went on a start to finish mission and really found a different gear when challengers came to come close to Fortune Warrior, and kicked away, eventually won by 3 parts of a length to Maiden Heaven. 8 is Lamika. Lamika went to the home straight in second spot. That was in race number 10. Then really veered out on the wide outside and was real erratic. Perhaps was running green and eventually finished on second to Togo. Lamika, the mount of Anthony Rajes. Race number 5 of the day, the own opinion handicap for horses rated 61 to 86, rated 41 to 66, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. Well, first up, we're looking at Bharat and Tycoonist. Bharat, who's come down from Bangalore, had a couple of unplaced effort during the monsoon season, and in this season, Bharat was racing towards the inside and tried to get the passage towards the inside and eventually finished on 4th. Tycoonist, who was racing in front until the last 50 meters, where there was a strong run by Zuri, and Tycoonist did the next best thing, finished on 2nd. Tommy Ocean and Snowpiercer are the 2 runners we're looking at. This is from race number 19, where Snowpiercer was racing in 6th spot and finished on 4th. As Tommy Ocean, who was racing in 5th spot, dropped back a place and finished on 6th. The winner here was Natural Grace, who won the race by 3 parts of length. Five is Charismatic, who's by excellent art out of first and only one, has done most of his racing in Bangalore, has picked up a couple of races in Bangalore and a win in Madras. The one we are looking at, that was in race number 37, and Charismatic, after being in 2nd spot when asked to go, accelerated, eventually won by 6 3/4 of a length. Star Concept has had a couple of starts in the Mysore season, and race number 57, Star Concept was leading the pack, as you can see in the black print cross, and eventually was overhauled, and Star Concept finished on 2nd to Naughty Blush. We move on to the 6th and feature race of the day, the Royal Western India Turf Club Limited Cup for horses rated 81 and above, rated 61 to 86, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. First up, we're looking at King's Retreat, a 3rd placed effort in an earlier start behind Black Eagle last start. In a small field of 4, King's Retreat was really minding his own business and finished on 4th of 4. The winner here was Troila, who eventually won the race by a length and 3/4. King's Retreat, the mount of Vishal and Bunde. 2, Raffaello 6, King of Mafia. Raffaello had a start in race number 18, where was on a start to finish mission, and towards the inside was looked like finding something, and eventually lost out by almost 3 parts of length to King Louis. And 6, King of Mafia, who had a very decent monsoon season, couple of wins during that. Over here, King of Mafia, after being in 5th spot, finished on 4th. 3 is Supreme Grandeur, had a win in the first start that Supreme Grandeur had in the monsoon. Then race number 54 was in 3rd spot when asked for an effort, finished on 3rd. There was a jockey reported a loss of whip during the home straight, and Supreme Grandeur, the mount of Mukesh Kumar today. We got 3 runners, Clifford, Buckley and Misty. This is from race number 12, where Clifford was in 3rd spot when asked for an effort, dropped back slightly, eventually finished on 5th. 7 is Buckley, who was racing in 5th spot, made up a placing and eventually finished on 4th. Misty came up with a run and got into a ding-dong battle with Black Eagle, but came out second best by almost length and 3/4. Misty the mount of Pete Trevor, Clifford to be ridden by Arul JH, and Buckley ridden by Hasib Alam. 5 is Chopin. Chopin has had a couple of starts during the monsoon season, a third placed effort in a field of 4 in the earliest start over 1600 meters. Last start went over 2000 meters, that was the Monsoon Cup, where Chopin tried to make it a start to finish race, but into the home straight tried to raise the white flag, eventually finished on 5th of 7 runners. The winner was High Command. We move on to the 7th and last race of the day, the Eagle Pines Handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. We got 4 runners which went up against each other, but all eyes definitely will be on Fantasy, who was racing in 2nd spot. Benda asked for an effort, finished on 2nd to Eleonora, who had a sizable lead. And then we got Dance Along. Dance Along has picked up back-to-back races, one in monsoon, one in the start of the winter season over here. Dance Along finished on a credible 3rd, very close up to Bendazi. And then we got 8 is Gimla. Gimla was racing in 7th spot after being slow out of the gates and eventually finished on 6th. And number 9 Into the Storm, who was racing in 5th spot when asked for an effort, dropped back and eventually finished on 8th. Next up, we got number 2, Celtic Harlequin. Celtic Harlequin had a very decent monsoon season, picking up a couple of races, and this season Celtic Harlequin started the season in race number 9, went over 1400 meters, was racing in mid-pack when asked for an effort, dropped back to last spot. The winner here was Zuri. 3 is Dragon's Gold. Dragon's Gold had 4 starts during the monsoon season. Not much to speak about those starts, except for perhaps in race number 30, that was a penultimate start where Dragon's Gold finished on 4th. Last start was in race number 51, the one we are looking at, where Dragon's Gold was racing in 2nd spot when came under pressure, dropped back, finished on 5th of 10 runners. The winner was King Louis. Dragon's Gold, the mount of M.S. Diora. 4 is Abhikandra. Abhikandra has experience on the Calcutta track, has in fact picked up a win. The start is during the Pune season, where after winning in race number 97, Abhikandra, this was in race number 138, Abhikandra was in 8th spot, then came up with a late dash and got into the place money, finished on 3rd of 10 runners. The winner was B Magical Abhikandra, the mount of R.S. Bhatti. 6 is Norwegian Wood and 12 is Wonderful Norwegian Wood, who had one start in the current season, that was in race number 8, where it was in 4th spot, then came up with a run down the center, perhaps needed the start, finished on 3rd to Gold Empire, and the other runner was number 12, which is Wonderful. Wonderful had a decent monsoon season, placed effort and a 4th place effort, and we hear Wonderful after being in 6th spot for most while, finished on 6th. 7 is True Faith. True Faith won a race in race number 21 during the monsoon season over here. This was in the current season in the winter track. In race number 17, True Faith was racing in 6th spot, then came up with a late run and eventually just missed out the board and finished on 4th of 7 runners. The winner was Aero Pearly. 10 is Oh My Darling. Oh My Darling had couple of starts during the monsoon season, and this start was definitely the eye catcher. This was in race number 63, where Oh My Darling was given a breather into the last 800 meters. Then when the horses turned for home, took over the running, and there was really no looking back. Eventually had a length to spare over the fast finishing Kitaro. Oh My Darling, the mount of A Prakash, and drawn 10. Number 11 is Sea Eagle. Sea Eagle, couple of stars during the monsoon season. A third place effort in race number 21. Then last start was in second spot. Then dropped back slightly and eventually finished on fourth of 6 runners. The winner here was Good Deeds. This was over 2000 meters in race number 52. So that's the lineup for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and see you at the races. Good luck.